From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening, I'm Brad Broders.
And I'm Michael Handy. Thanks for joining us for the February 10th edition of Carolina Week. Last week we brought you breaking news of the vote that sealed North Carolina's first co-speakership of the House.
Tonight we take you back to that pivotal day in Raleigh and the events that led to the swearing in of Republican Richard Morgan and Democrat Jim Black. It only took a week of bipartisan bickering, 8 failed ballots, and reworked strategies. But on Wednesday, the North Carolina House of Representatives finally made a decision, electing co-speakers for the first time in the state's 227-year history. In the vote, Jim Black, who served 2 terms as sole speaker, agreed to share the speakership on alternate days with Richard Morgan. The successful vote is in contrast to an earlier Republican plan, the Team Black with Yadkin County Rep. Robert Holmes. But once Democrats rejected that offer, the Republicans regrouped and chose Morgan in a new co-speaker plan, an option that passed 89-31. After the vote, both parties voiced their opinions, ranging from relief to frustration.
If anything, we probably wanted to get the speaker elected from day one, but when you have so many different factions, so many segments with personal agendas at stake, it's kind of hard to find out who's going to come to the top of this thing. And I'm very, very satisfied.
If this was any indication of what this session is going to be, then it's going to be a real tough session. And we've got so many tremendous problems in North Carolina, and this is not a good way to start.
Higher education could fare well under the new agreement. Both speakers recently supported the protection of $120 million normally allotted for research funding at state universities.
UNC Chapel Hill students have an important election of their own coming up tomorrow. Carolina Week will bring you live team coverage of the election results and comments from the candidates. The big race is for student body president. Tune in Tuesday night from 9:30 until 11:30 to see which candidates move on to the runoffs. Carol 111 will be open to anyone to watch the results come in.
One thing the new student body president might want to address is getting the roads repaired on campus. Driving across campus has been a challenge ever since December's major ice storm. This is becoming a familiar sound. Whether biking, jogging, or driving, we're still dodging potholes big and small. City and university officials say the majority of the roads in Chapel Hill are state-owned, and the state DOT can't keep up with all the potholes that have been there for months and others that continue to pop up.
Seniors, if you're planning to graduate in May, don't forget to register for graduation with your dean's office. The deadline to register is this Friday, February 14th. It takes about 5 minutes to fill out the form, and if you don't do it very soon, you might not get your diploma on time. Also, if your name in the registrar's office isn't correct, you must change it before Friday as well. The way it appears on your registration records is the way it will appear on your diploma.
The men's basketball team will be the only group battling the Wolfpack come February 24th. The program Beat Hunger, Beat State is urging UNC students to collect more canned food than NC State students before the game that night. The school that fills up the most barrels wins. The UNC Chapel Hill Campus Y organized the food drive to benefit the North Carolina Food Bank. Campus Y co-president Hildy Fong says failing to fill barrels could turn Chancellor Measer red.
If we lose, the Chancellor is going to have to wear state red for a day, and hopefully that won't happen. And if we win, then Chancellor Fox over at State's going to have to wear Carolina blue.
Carolina organizations and students can bring their cans 2 p.m. February 24th and 25th.
Researchers say remembering to work out can help you remember. According to the study's findings, exercise and diet can help prevent memory loss. The study says memory seems to be linked to people's glucose tolerance or their tissue's ability to absorb sugar from their blood. The higher the tolerance, the better their memory. So don't forget to go to the gym on a regular basis and eat your vegetables.
As cold as this winter's been, we've all come to have a greater appreciation for sources of heat. Carolina Week's Amanda Wilson says the university's main heat and power source is the best kept secret in town.
Much of the heat that will keep students on campus warm this winter comes from steam produced by this university power plant on Cameron Avenue. Tom Mather of the North Carolina Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, says strict regulation helps keep plants like UNC's operating safely.
Our stance as far as the state is, we feel there are very strict state and federal regulations for these facilities, and as long as they can meet these regulations, we don't have a problem with it.
Environmental Affairs Manager for the Carolina Power Plant, Rich Miller, said the university has worked to promote an environmentally friendly facility.
So this is an extremely clean plant. This university should be very proud of having a plant that's run by professionals that truly know how to generate power and generate steam in an environmentally and a cost-effective way.
The plant creates steam that's captured and transferred throughout campus for heating and other purposes. The plant is powered by coal. Plant manager Alan Johnson said the coal is burned in boilers.
These boilers are the greatest and latest in clean coal technology, basically, and that means basically that we minimize our pollutants that go out the stack.
Johnson said this 32-mile network of pipes supplies campus with about 10 million pounds of steam per day.
We have 6 pipes going down a utility corridor, going straight eastwards toward Carolina Inn.
The UNC power plant was recognized 2 years ago by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the Department of Energy for superior environmental performance. In Chapel Hill, I'm Amanda Wilson, Carolina Week.
The power plant was originally located at the site of Phillips Hall and was designed in part by turn-of-the-century physics professor Joshua Gore. Plant officials give tours upon request. Well, that's all the time we have for news today. Thanks for joining us.
Sports Spotlight is next, so stay tuned and have a good night.
Have a good one.
Racial steering is illegal. If you think you've been a victim, call the National Fair Housing Alliance. We'll respond within 24 hours and help you take action.
Can I take your order, please?
Yeah. Hi, could I get a number 2 with a lemonade, please?
Could you make that a number 5 and make it a chocolate shake?
Number 5 with a chocolate shake.
What are you doing?
I'm ordering for you.
No, actually, I'd like a number 2
with a chocolate shake.
With a lemonade, actually. Sir, could you please stop that?
I just wanted to order a number 5 with a chocolate shake.
I'd really like you to
All right,
stop
lady.
That. I'd like you to stop it.
No.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports Spotlight. I'm Aaron Messmer. Coming up, men's tennis plays 2 and the gymnastics team set more records. But we'll start with basketball. The NBA held its All-Star festivities this weekend. A big part of that event is the three-point contest. Against Florida State on Saturday, several Carolina basketball players seem to be trying out for a spot in the show. Ray Felton gets it started with a 3. Jawad Williams drains one of his own. Jawad again. That's the money ball. Melvin Scott knocks down a deep one. Will Johnson wants in on the act. Jackie Manuel hits from the corner, and the Heels have an early 23-9 lead. But the Seminoles would make a run, cutting the lead to 1 at the half. The game stays tight in the second half. David Noel gets a few nice dunks, but he still has work to do. 10 seconds left in the game. Tie game, Noel strips FSU's Anthony Richardson and gets fouled at the other end. He hits the first one for a 61-60 Carolina win. Noel tried to tell us he wasn't nervous at the line.
No, not really. Not really. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I was nervous. I was real nervous. But luckily one went in, so, I mean, you're gonna always have nerves like that in a situation like that where it's you on the line with a couple of seconds left and the game's tied. I mean, that's all you dream about. So, but yeah, I was nervous.
After a 4-day break, the women's basketball team played 2 games in 3 days, including a contest against Coach Kay Yao and NC State. Carolina hoped to spoil the night for State, which was highlighting Yao's induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Both teams shoot horribly throughout the game as Heels center Candace Sutton misses a chippy. The Pack goes up 10 in the second half behind 20 points from senior Amelia Labrador. But Carolina gets the lead down to 2, and then Latangela Atkinson ties it on this nice coast-to-coast drive and finish. With the score tied, Leah Metcalf takes the ball to the hoop after a steal. She gets the layup and the foul. Carolina holds on for the 66-63 win. Coach Sylvia Hatchell says close games in the past few weeks were a big reason for the victory.
I think that our games at Western Michigan and at Maryland helped us win this game because, we didn't get rattled and, we played tough down the stretch. And so I think those games helped us a lot.
The Heels travel to Winston-Salem Sunday to take on Wake Forest, losers of 8 straight. The Heels couldn't find the basket again in this game as they shoot 39%, but their defense helped them pull out a 10-point win, 67-57. Senior Coretta Brown had 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in the contest. The women's next game will be a tough one. They host Florida State, which is 7-3 in the conference and 15-6 overall. The 21st-ranked men's tennis team came into this match with 13th-ranked Washington, sporting a 3-0 record after beating the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga 6-1 on Friday. On Sunday, the Heels wouldn't have it so easy. Derek Porter wins his match, but that would be the only bright spot. Greg Archer struggles while filling in for the injured Daniel Pinchbeck, and the rest of the Heels were unable to manage another point. Carolina falls to the Washington Huskies 6-1. The women's tennis team traveled to Wisconsin for the ITA National Women's Team Indoor Championships. Thursday, Carolina easily defeated 35th-ranked Texas A&M 6-1. The win earned the Heels a quarterfinal matchup with number 4 Duke on Friday. The team Carolina defeated 4-3 in the ACC Finals last year. But Duke was too much for the Heels, taking the match 6-1 and knocking Carolina out of the tournament. They say practice makes perfect. For Carolina's undefeated gymnastics team, perfection is quickly becoming habit. Junior Anna Wilson scored only the second perfect 10 in Tar Heel history January 31st. Saturday, it was Courtney Bumper's turn at the Governor's Cup in Raleigh. Like Wilson, Bumpers nails the floor exercise for the once rare perfect score. The freshman posts top 5 finishes in all 4 events to win the all-around title. Wilson keeps it close, tying Bumpers for 3rd on the vault and finishing 2nd in the all-around. The Heels combine with NC State to beat Maryland and Towson and win the annual competition between the 2 states. Carolina moves to 12-2 overall. Carolina fans are still trying to forget football season, but Coach John Bunting and his staff are already working hard for next year. The latest Tar Heel recruiting class is rated among the best in the country. The secret to Bunting's success? Showing recruits everything the university and town have to offer.
I think getting more people involved here on our campus to show and demonstrate throughout the entire 48 hours when they're here on campus made a big difference. Getting players down on Franklin Street, showing them Chapel Hill, getting the professors involved.
One correction, the gymnastics team is actually 12-0 overall. And one last note, former basketball player Michael Jordan played in what will likely be his last All-Star game of his career, scored 20 points, and he's planning on retiring at the end of the season. Well, that does it for Sports Spotlight. Don't forget to join us Tuesday night for our live elections coverage. Good night.